Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 197 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. When we think about success in life, the driven inside of us, the ambition inside of us believes that in order to have this success, it means we have to be amazing at every single thing in our lives and at work. And it can feel exhausting and at times anxiety-provoking. And you're so used to working and living this way that often this striving for perfection is ingrained in everything. It's almost so hard to even see. And today's podcast on how you don't have to be good at everything will help you clarify how to release the weight of unnecessary expectations. It is very natural to think this way, to think that you have to be good at everything since you've likely been given feedback on all the things that are not going well time and time again. And when we think about traditional ways of improving ourselves, of developing ourselves, of giving feedback to ourselves and others, the first things we do is we dive into all the things we're not good at and think, okay, well, we just need to toughen up and figure it out. And our brains also have a negativity bias, which means we pay more attention to negative information than we do to positive. We've also been told that we won't excel if we don't do it like so-and-so person does it. And when we've had comparison to other people as our main measuring stick for our whole life, it can feel difficult to unravel that sense of looking outside of you and looking around you at how everyone else is doing and comparing to figure out, am I actually doing great or not? And so I want to share this with you because this way of working also gives you the results that you have so far, which are pretty good. Yet I want to ask you this question. What if we did it that way because we didn't know any better? We thought we just had to compare. We thought we had to be good at everything because that was just the way it was done. But what if the actual intent, the thing that you're trying to get from all of this critiquing and trying to be good at everything, was to succeed? It wasn't to do it exactly the way someone else does it. And when you think about the people who have truly inspired you, or maybe others in their lives, it is often leaders who have done things differently than others and as a result achieved some kind of greatness within themselves. They defied traditional norms, they did things differently, they had lives that looked and felt uniquely theirs, even if they were being asked to do things just like everyone else around them. They had to overcome that feeling of never being good enough, having enough, doing enough, being smart enough. And they had to figure out not just how to do it like someone else, but how to do it their way and do it well. Overworked achievers are those that find themselves lost among the comparison, never feeling like you've had a truly extraordinary experience in life or times in your life where you really excelled on your own terms. Or if you did, it might feel like it was so long ago, or it was in a context that was outside of work or outside of this personal life that you have today, or outside the context that you are currently dealing with. And they tend to feel like they're always worried about being found out, that they're not working hard enough or doing enough. This is the complex of the insecure overachiever, this idea of just being found out. And there's this sense of disapproval from whoever holds more authority in their lives. And it doesn't mean that that person actually disapproves of them. It's almost this feeling like when you think about your manager, your boss, the people who have authority over your life, maybe it's even your partner, and you feel like there's an authority they have over your life, there's a sense of disapproval. And it's mostly fear and guilt that drives the day-to-day actions. And at the same time, when you're always working under this feeling of being scrutinized, judged, worried about what others are thinking, you end up limiting your own ability to take intelligent risks, to be assertive in the ways that matter, to actually have more moments of incredible flow and connection to others. You're not using your life force energy, your impact, to actually make a difference in the way that you can uniquely make a difference, which means you're not expressing your gifts. So how does one not feel like they have to be good at everything? So the way you do it is, instead of trying to let go of that, you focus on something that's more positive in terms of beneficial to your life instead. You utilize high performance spiritual strategies that take into account who you are, your expertise, and where you want to excel in life. And what that involves is a combination of two things and some others, but I'm going to talk about two today that I work with my clients on. The first one is daily spiritual practices. When you start to feel overwhelmed, exhausted, many professionals think, I don't have time for spiritual inner work, when in fact, this is the time when reminding yourself of your soul purpose, of the larger meaning behind your actions, and the moment that you feel stuck in right now actually matters most. It is easy to say, hard to do, which means it requires a practice. You'll understand how to make decisions more easily with these practices, how to reduce unnecessary procrastinations when you have these practices, how to solve your problems before they start occurring and actually solve more problems and have more results created every single day. And these are practical strategies that help you reduce the mental chatter, because the more confident you are about why you're here and what you want to do with your life, the more spacious your mind will feel. It helps you do everyday life with more calm and grounded attention. Even if you feel like you've lost your way and you have a hard time having space in your life, a hard time figuring out what I really want at this stage of my life, these daily spiritual practices can create clarity and focus. The second thing I work on with clients is this superpower edge system. When you create a system for the way you work and live that takes into account your natural talents, your strengths, your motivations, who you are, you'll find that there are fewer places you need to excel that truly matter. You do not have to work on everything at the same time. And the error is thinking that we can or that we must. And so we feel disappointed with ourselves. We feel that we haven't made the progress we wanted to, and we focus on what we haven't done yet. So with the superpower edge, the journey is the prize, because each day we have millions of opportunities to hone our edge, to learn, to grow. And we waste all of this time not knowing this. We use the negativity bias to our advantage. We think about the few things we want to be known for, and instead of racing towards average, comparing ourselves in areas that don't truly matter, or just burying ourselves and trying to ignore that maybe we're not working on the things that matter, we are confident that we're having an impact on what does matter. And with the system, you are not waiting for the future for things to get better. You also don't put off the work today that helps your tomorrows. You're living your deep, rich version of life today. And you can begin to imagine sustaining this kind of life that's full of unexpected richness that you helped to create by being more you, by doing all of this work that you can own. And instead of giving up on yourself and giving up on some of the dreams that you might have had, you know that you haven't reached the end of your fulfillment spectrum or what's possible for you. And this system, it sounds like it's very structured, but it's also more sustainable. Structure creates space because you can focus on one thing at a time. And instead of time passing with a feeling like nothing has changed, you can keep your attention focused on your unique path of creating a standout, unique personal brand in life. And time passing, instead of it being a terrible thing, it creates progress. It creates results. We also let go of self-defeating, self-sabotaging habits of ruminating on the past that waste this precious life force and time of ours. And we focus instead on what we can do today. And as a reminder, this is a highly personal system of not denying who you are, what you're here to do, whether it's to be more accepting of yourself and others, whether it's to lead and create impact. There is so much more personal fulfillment available when we can start with the things that will create the most impact and we give up this idea of having to be good at everything. So I want to ask you this. Do you want to be continuously overwhelmed by comparison, by thinking you should be better and good at pretty much everything and the life that gives you? Or do you want to see more progress than you are seeing today by focusing on what matters most, creating a unique personal brand, knowing your gifts, living a life that feels authentic to you while having impact and finally excelling in all the ways that really matter? And if you want to take this second option and the second route, I encourage you to watch my free training on how to stop hiding and overworking and instead stand out and lead a life of more time and financial freedom. Then apply and join me inside the Spiritual Achiever Coaching Program. You can go to mayemson.com/spiritual achiever. It is risk-free. You can try out the first month. And if you do not see the changes you're looking for, connect, email us, you will get your money back. We'll get clarity on what you want next and then figure out how to go and do just that. And again, if you haven't watched it already, you'll want to watch the free training on how to stand out and lead. You can create your next chapter with so much more calm and confidence so that you can finally achieve more space, more time, more freedom in your life. And again, you can go to the show notes to be able to access that training now. All right, my friends, I hope you have an amazing week. Spring is around the corner, so it is an amazing shift externally and then internally for us to have some unexpected challenges, breakthroughs, opportunities come our way. I promise this is going to be amazing next season for you. Have an amazing week. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.